Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the skies of Corbin will be a little dark this 4th of July after officials call off the annual fireworks display. And Bluegrass Care Navigators in Hazard has a new member of their team, a four-legged friend that is ready to help some patients.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 5:32 on this Friday, May the 15th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning. Well, if you're waking up, you might be able to watch a little bit of fog roll in. It's not picking up on many sensors, but we'll tell you right now, it's a real thing this morning. Here comes Brandon to give us a breakdown of what to expect on this Friday. Brandon, good morning.
Good morning, sir, and we're looking at the fog in the lower elevations. It's very patchy, but it's out there, as Will mentioned, so just give yourself plenty of time for moving around. Up on Buffalo Mountain this morning in Perry County, not a whole lot of action up that way. So as we take a look at that camera, we're going over now to our temperatures, and you'll see those are basically in the 60s and 70s this morning. It's kind of a mild start to the day across the area, so just kind of keep that in mind as you get ready today for getting dressed and all that. And you'll see temperatures there between about 52 in Jonesville, now down to 69 in Irvin. It was at 70 just a few minutes ago, so temperature's still dropping. Your 12-hour planner for today, about 82, maybe a little bit warmer there in some locations, as we see again those showers and storms possible in scattered form heading deeper in the day. The rest of that forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, an inmate walked off from the Harlan County Detention Center on Tuesday, and police need your help finding him. This is 37-year-old David Parsons. Officials say he walked off around 2:30 p.m. while on work detail planting potatoes in the detention center's garden. Harlan County Detention Center jailer B.J. Burkhart says once the inmates were back inside, they realized they were one short.
When they come in, he only brought seven of them in with him, and so he, sometime between the van and the back of the booking, he got away from my deputy.
Burkhart said employees on duty at the time are on unpaid leave. Parsons is considered a level 1 inmate, meaning he is allowed to be outside doing work detail. Parsons is from Pike County and could be in the Dehoyt community of Harlan County. Anyone with information is asked to call Kentucky State Police at 606-573-3131 or the jail at 606-837-0096. Well, a volunteer firefighter in Lincoln County is facing arson charges. Kentucky State Police said there were 2 fires that were intentionally set. After investigating, they determined 20-year-old Jeffrey Noose was a suspect. They say Noose was interviewed and he confessed to setting both fires. He is being held on a $10,000 bond in the Lincoln County Regional Jail on 2 counts of arson. Well, a man is dead after a grading accident in Perry County. It happened yesterday on a mining road off Highway 699 near the Leatherwood community. A deputy coroner says it is still unclear exactly what happened, but for some reason the victim got out of the grader and it rolled over him. The victim's name has not yet been released this morning. Well, yesterday marked 32 years since the deadliest bus disaster in the U.S. history happened here in Kentucky. 27 people died that day in Carrollton. On that bus, current Pikeville principal and former Shelby Valley coach Jason Boer. Drunk driver Larry Mahoney collided his pickup truck head-on with a former school bus being used as a church bus on Interstate 71. Boer, along with his youth group, were heading back from Kings Island. He always takes time to remember the friends he lost that day.
I've already run this morning, but I'm going to go out and probably get my bicycle out since it's beautiful out today, and I'll probably ride 27 miles, 1 mile for each of the kids that were lost. So I'll do that today after work and try to go out and just enjoy the outside and dedicate each mile of those 27 miles that I'll bike ride a little later today to each one of them.
Now, more younger adults in Kentucky are testing positive for COVID-19, but doctors say the increase in numbers does not tell the entire story. Victor Puente tells us why the state is seeing more people in a younger age group receive positive test results.
Over the past few weeks, the number of Kentuckians in their 20s who have tested positive for COVID-19 has risen higher than those in their 60s or 70s. These are the numbers up through yesterday. Medical experts say they don't believe more young people are getting infected, but that our statewide testing is finally giving us a more accurate picture of who has COVID-19.
We're expanding and catching the populations that we didn't naturally get before. Before we were testing higher risk populations, those who presented to the emergency department, those who presented for admission to the hospital.
With Governor Andy Beshear encouraging all Kentuckians to get tested, those numbers should continue to rise. Stanton says that doesn't tell the whole story.
And so by expanding testing, we're naturally going to pick up those numbers. And so the number positive are going to go up. But I think we're going to still continue to see the numbers of admissions and deaths actually to continue to drop off.
While younger people are a smaller percentage of those who get seriously ill, it can still happen. A 31-year-old from Powell County told me he was treated for an upper respiratory infection, but a week later ended up in the hospital being treated for COVID-19.
It feels like an elephant is kind of standing on your chest, and it's not really comfortable.
Merriman told me he considered himself lucky to have only spent one night in the hospital.
It doesn't pick and choose who it's going to affect, so you honestly just don't know. It can be any age. I never thought that I would have contracted it at all.
Dr. Stanton says another benefit to expanded testing is alerting those who may have it but aren't showing symptoms that they shouldn't be in contact with anyone.
You know, it's not over. I think we're all over it, but it's not over.
In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Now in Kentucky, people in their 40s are infected more than any other age group. Now people will have to wait another year for fireworks this 4th of July in Corbin. Officials with the Corbin Tourism and Convention Commission Board are erring on the side of public safety and citing budget concerns as to why they're tabling their 2020 fireworks show. Officials say it costs $12,000 to hold the 25-minute show, and with a 50% drop in budget revenue, this decision impacts everyone.
You know, the fireworks do, bring people into our restaurants. They bring people into the gas stations, purchasing gas and snacks and things of that nature. Some people catch a movie before the fireworks, so it does have an impact directly on our businesses.
Kriebel says they hope by doing this, they can definitely bring it back next year in 2021. Well, Bluegrass Care Navigators in Hazard has a new member of their team, Grace, their first therapy dog. She is part of their integrative medicine program, which includes art, music, and massage therapy. Grace is 1 year old. She just completed 9 months of training. She will be visiting patients at the Greg and Noreen Wells Hospice Care Center, as well as other nursing homes and assisted living facilities. She has only been at the center a few weeks, but they are already seeing the help she provides.
It was really beneficial to the patient and the family. They were so excited, and you could just feel, I heard staff say, you could just feel the atmosphere change, and that everybody seemed to be more comfortable, more relaxed, and she just brightened the day.
Bluegrass Care Navigators will be looking for volunteers who will be trained to handle Grace and take her on visits. Well, this week is National Skilled Nursing Care Week, and in Cumberland, Tri-Cities Nursing and Rehabilitation Center celebrated yesterday with the drive-by parade. Family members drove by to see their loved ones, greeting them with horns and signs of admiration. Officials at the center tell us the support from the community and family members helps with the morale of not only those in the center, but staff as well. Well, one community celebrated those working through COVID-19 pandemic by showing their appreciation in the form of another parade. Advent Health teamed up with others in the community, holding a parade for essential workers through downtown Manchester. Not just recognizing the frontline healthcare workers, but those working in other places like grocery stores and gas stations.
Those people out there going to work every day, they're just as important. There's no one more important than any other person.
While the pandemic has been tough on everyone, the people of Clay County say they have come closer together through these trying times. Well, yesterday was a special day for 8th graders at Arley Boggs Elementary School in Letcher County. Usually they host a big graduation ceremony in the gym. But because of COVID-19, the graduation, of course, looked just a little bit different. WYMT's Emily Bennett was there for their big day.
Instead of walking into a gym to pomp and circumstance, these Arley Boggs Elementary 8th graders marched in cars to their driving graduation.
Once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat. I couldn't imagine just doing it virtually and it being one-sided.
Principal Freddie Terry wanted to make this day as special as he could.
When you've been here as long as I have, and you watch them come from kindergarten, you love them like your own kids.
His staff preparing this driving graduation, trying to make it as close to normal as possible.
Just any recognition for the kids and their accomplishments.
When Amelia Spangler heard the plans, she was skeptical.
At first, I was like, okay, this is kind of crazy.
But was happy she got one last chance to celebrate with her classmates.
Yeah, I'm glad this happened.
It was fun.
And as speeches were given and diplomas were handed through windows,
Miss Bailey Jones.
Principal Terry ended with his signature phrase.
I love you, mean it, bye.
A phrase with even more meaning in these uncertain times.
And we're a family.
In Letcher County, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
Terry said they worked with the health department to make sure all guidelines were followed as strictly as possible. Well, just ahead on Mountain News this morning, we'll show you how one Laurel County teenager is using music to help encourage others during these difficult times.
Warm weekend with scattered chances for showers and storms, but some changes are coming early next week. We'll talk about it in about 3 minutes.